Now let's talk about treating burns, because burns are something that happen to everybody and especially happen around the house and often happen in the kitchen. But let me give you a word of warning before we talk about burns. Sometimes some of my patients have been hurt worse by trying to put the fire out than just getting away from the fire. So if you have a kitchen fire or a fire in the house or garage or anywhere you are, the first most important thing is to get out. You can rebuild the kitchen, you can remodel the garage, but you only have one body. Just get out. Get away from the fire, because that's what hurts you and that's what can kill you. So get away. You can always yell to someone else to call 911, but there's nothing worse than being burnt and then trying to put the fire out and getting burnt much worse. So forget about the fire and think about yourself. Okay, so what do we do about burns? Well, one of the first things, this might sound a little obvious, is put the fire out. Okay, and often you can do that just by running the area under cold water. You know that often when you're burnt, the tissue, the meat of your body keeps cooking, and this is where burns can get really dangerous. So as soon as you're burned, get cold water on it. Run to the sink and put cold water on it. And the next best thing would be to make one of those ice bags and put it right on the burn. Okay, you gotta stop the cooking. You have to stop the fire. So remember my first two important things. Don't try to put the fire out. Get out. Get away from the fire. Tell someone else to do it because you've already been injured. And the second thing, get cold water and ice on that burn immediately, as fast as possible, to stop the cooking of your flesh. Okay, if it's not a serious burn, and it's just like a first-degree burn or even a second-degree burn, one of the things that I like to do is use my jojoba tea tree oil on the burn. You can use it in either the oil or the ointment. There's a couple things that are very important about jojoba oil, and that's that it penetrates through the skin. Most oils just swim around on top of the skin, but jojoba oil is actually an ester, and it does penetrate deeply through all layers of your skin. And with it is the tea tree oil, which is an antibacterial, an antiviral, and an antifungal, and it's great burn treatment. But if you've been burnt more severely, another great treatment is aloe vera. People use aloe vera for sunburns, and it works amazing. There's all types of aloe vera creams and lotions on the market that are beautiful for sunburns or any type of burn. They put the fire out. But most of them, unfortunately, are garbage. They look like fluorescent blue hair setting gel. Now, it says on them 99% aloe vera, pure aloe vera, but what they mean is the 1% that's in there is 99% pure. They're garbage. There's very few good ones on the market. You'll find a couple good ones in a health food store. But better than that, anybody can have their own aloe vera cactus like this one right here that you can have right in your kitchen, right in your clinic, anywhere you want, and then it's there to use anytime you need aloe vera. And I'm going to show you how to do that because I used fresh aloe vera on all my patients' burns. In fact, in my clinic in Malibu, I had a 40-year-old aloe vera growing outside my clinic window, and I used it to treat patients for almost 20 years in that particular clinic. The older the aloe vera, the more potent it is. This aloe vera is not that old, so it wouldn't be that potent. So grow them as big as you can. If you live in a nice area like Florida or California, where you can just dig them and put them in the ground outside and they'll love it and they'll grow wild. If you live in colder climates, well, they won't do well, but you can grow them in the house and use a plant grow light. But you always want to have an aloe vera cactus around. Now, sometimes they're the yellow flowered or the official variety. The one in Malibu was another variety. It was aloe vera, some different possible species. And it was an orange flowered one, and that one worked just as good. Any type of aloe plant works really good for healing wounds. There's many chemicals in aloe, one of them aloin or allantoin, that is a cell pluriferant. It helps your cells grow back 5 to 10 times faster than normal. So let me show you how to do it. You simply just cut a leaf off. You take any type of knife and cut a leaf off. And they come off pretty easy. They almost snap off. And now you have a leaf. And you see that the leaf has a skin on the outside and all this gel on the inside. You can see the gel here. Now I'm going to put this down on the cutting board because what you want to do next, it's really quite simple. Depending on the size of the area you want to treat, but say like you burnt your finger or your arm, getting something in and out of the oven, well, cut yourself a 2 or 3 inch piece, cut it off, throw it over so it's on a flat surface, and cut off the edge. And cut the edge off on the other side. And now what you want to do, you can see all the goo starting to come out of there. Now what you want to do, if you have a good fillet knife, it works best. But you just want to fillet off the skin and expose the gel like that. Oh, you can see how slimy and good it's getting. Now, what you can do on top of that is fillet off the other side, or you can leave that skin on. So let's look at how we would put this aloe vera right on a burn. Well, I'm going to want a little thinner piece because it's for my hand. So I'm just going to slice a piece of this gel right off here. And just take a piece of this nice gel. Look at that beautiful stuff. Just like this. Okay, now I'm going to put this right on my hand here, imagining that is the burned area. The next thing you want to do is cover it with some type of gauze pad. Now, I have these Next Care pads here, but they come individual like this, and they're great pads, but you can use any type of gauze. You could use a piece of an old t-shirt and just put it over the wound and over the aloe, over the burn, and over the aloe, just like this. The next thing you do is you just take some pieces of tape and take the tape, and it's always hard bandaging yourself, and you're getting the idea though, and take this tape and wrap it around. I usually like to get a first couple pieces of tape on, like this, and get it down tight. Now I got an area to work with and that aloe's in there. Now I can go ahead and put further pieces of tape over it, tape it closed, and now I have the aloe taped right down to my skin. And this is going to be magical for the burn. So let's just review for a minute. The first rule when you're burned is get out of the fire. Don't try to put the fire out. Let someone else put the fire out or call 911. Get out of the fire and flush the wound with cold water immediately. The second thing you want to do is put some ice on it. Stop the burning. Stop the cooking of that area. Then, once it stops cooking, you can cover the area with some jojoba and tea tree oil, the oil or the ointment, or even use some aloe vera and slice it up, put the gel on like I did and tape it to the body. Now, the next day, you're going to notice that the aloe's gone. Maybe in a few hours, it's absorbed right into your body. Put another fresh piece on and keep doing that for 3 or 4 days. And the next thing you're going to know, the burn is gone.